Hello friends, welcome back. Today we are going to revise pituitary gland and this is possible due to notes. So go and download their app from the Play Store. So pituitary gland. Location: small endocrine situated in the hypophyseal fossa on superior surface of body of sphenoid sella thoracica, suspended from floor of third ventricle of brain by narrow stalk called infundibular. And you know that third ventricle lies in diencephalon. Enclosed in dural sheath diaphragma sella. Each side there is a cavernous sinus and in front and behind to anterior and posterior intercavernous sinus. Shape and measurements: anterior and posterior pituitary gland, pituitary stalk, sella thoracica of the sphenoid bone and basilar artery. Shape and measurements: the gland is oval in shape and measures 8 mm anteroposteriorly, 12 mm transversely, and weighs about 500 mg. Relations: superior optic chiasma, inferior sphenoid air sinus, lateral cavernous sinus. Subdivisions: two subdivisions, adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis develops as a diverticulum Rathke's pouch from ectoderm roof of stomodium. Neurohypophysis develops as a downgrowth from the floor of diencephalon. Adenohypophysis: pars anterior, pars intermedia, and pars tubercularis. Neurohypophysis: pars posterior, infundibulum. Hypothalamus, optic chiasma, mammillary body, pars tuberalis, pars intermedia, pars distalis. Infundibulum. Posterior pituitary neurohypophysis. Anterior pituitary contains pars tuberalis, pars intermedia, and pars distalis. Intraglandular cleft. Hormones secreted: pars anterior, acidophil cells, growth hormone and prolactin; basophil cells, adenocorticotropic hormone, thyrotropic hormone, gonadotropic hormone. So acidophil cells secretes GH and PRL, and basophil secretes ACTH, TSH, and LH and FSH. Pars intermedia secrete hormone secreted melanocyte stimulating hormone, and pars posterior, supraoptic nucleus of hypothalamus, paraventricular nucleus of hypothalamus. Vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin. Arterial supply: the following branches of internal carotid artery supply the pituitary gland: superior hypophyseal artery, inferior hypophyseal artery on each side. Venous drainage: short veins from pituitary gland drains into neighboring dural venous sinuses as cavernous and intercavernous. Axons to first set of capillaries. Cell body: median eminence, primary capillaries. Superior hypophyseal artery, portal venules, pituitary stalk, posterior pituitary. Second set of capillaries, anterior pituitary. Craniopharyngioma: the remnants of Rathke's pouch may give rise to tumor inside the sphenoid bone called craniopharyngioma. Sometimes some cells of Rathke's pouch extends backward along the roof of the nasopharynx and forms an accessory lobe of the anterior lobe in the pharyngeal wall called the pharyngeal hypophysis. Pituitary tumors: the pituitary tumors occurs commonly. The commonest tumor of the pituitary gland is adenoma, arising from its chromophobe cells. Pituitary adenoma produces two types of symptoms: symptoms due to pressure on adjacent structures, and B. symptoms due to endocrine disturbances. Symptoms due to pressure on adjacent structures: enlargement of hypophyseal fossa due to downward growth, intracellular growth of an adenoma. It is seen as ballooning of hypophyseal fossa sella thoracica in plain radiograph of skull lateral view. Bitemporal hemianopia, pituitary tumor, compression of central part of optic chiasm. Nasal fibers of retina, optic chiasm. Bitemporal hemianopia, loss of vision in right and left temporal fields of vision due to the upward growth of adenoma pressing the central part of the optic chiasm. Exophthalmos and ophthalmoplegia due to pressure on the cavernous sinus. Symptoms due to endocrine disturbances. Gingitism before pituitary and acromegaly in adults due to excessive secretions of growth hormone. Cushing syndrome due to excessive secretions of ACTH. Dwarfism due to hyposecretion of DH in infants and children due to involvement of the posterior lobe. Diabetes insipidus due to involvement of the posterior lobe. Craniopharyngioma, coronal and sagittal section, mixed cystic solid cellular mass, coronal, axial, contrast enhancing cellular mass. Pituitary tumor, microadenoma. Pituitary gland, sphenoid sinuses, pituitary gland on underside of brain. Thank you.